Okay, you're probably wondering, where's the floor 7 video? Well, I was recording it, but I had, like, nothing to say, so I just ended up building the floor in no video. So, well, here's the finished floor. The reason it looks strange up here is because it's just, like, button-activated stuff. Actually, this isn't finished. There are some more stuff I want to do to this, but I don't feel like doing that right now. But this is what it's going to look like for the most part. Okay, I just clicked this because I was remembering someone was like saying that they increased the maximum part limit to 4,000, and yeah, it doesn't say maximum part limit reached, it now says this, so yay, there's more part limit. I won't bother increasing it until I need to. So, yeah. Anyway, about this floor itself, welcome to floor 8. This is somewhat similar to floor 6. The song has 4 movements, and each side of the floor uses a different movement. This time, however, the song is Task Suite by Shark. Each movement of Task Suite represents a different task from Among Us. On each side, you'll complete a recreation of the task that movement represents. For this side, you will complete the fixed wiring task. Also note that falling into the kill bricks below will send you to the halfway point of the previous side. But for side 1, which is this one, it'll send you back to this platform. It's been forever since I built something in Obby Creator. Let's start with like a wraparound or something. The past couple of days I've been working on a tower in Roblox Studio that I might actually submit to JTOH. I probably will unless something goes wrong or something, I don't know. And so naturally, having been in Roblox Studio a lot, I'm going to keep trying to use hotkeys from there, like Control 2 to go to move and not Q. So it's fine, I'll get used to it again in a few minutes. Alright, anyway, we have a wraparound to start. That's really peak gameplay. How about like a long jump now? It's at the start and there's like no punishment for falling, so we'll go ahead and make it a 12 stud. Okay, next let's take a moving platform and put this destination like here, and then the other destination will move over to, let's just make it go all the way to the other side of the side. Let's make it gray and universal. So what I'm thinking is it'll be like you do wraparounds as this is moving, so yeah. And also you're gonna do the task at the end of each side, so like that's how this has nothing to do with fixed wiring at the moment anyway. So it's moving pretty slow when it's like right here, so I think it makes sense for this to be like a 7 stud wraparound. Of course I'll test it, so if it's like impossible, then I won't do that. Like this wraparound, let's make these go all the way into the floor. But then I'm going to leave this gap here so it makes sense how the moving platform actually goes through there. But then to prevent you from going into climbing animation and like ladder flicking, I'm just going to make these bottom ones can't collide false. So if you try to do that, then it's not going to work. So you'll do the wraparounds on here, and then this section is just a bunch of ladder flicks until you get onto these platforms. Now these like support beams, they are can collide true. I thought about making them can collide false, but then it ended up you would jump on them here. So yeah, they are indeed can collide true. You'll jump here, and then this next section which I'm gonna build, I am gonna take inspiration from Tower of Mechanically Induced Mayhem. On floor like 7 or something, there's like a no walk section. It's exactly what it sounds like. So it's like you can't walk, but you can jump. So it's like a no walk section, not a no jump section. Let's make it so that there's like a button you need to push on this wedge, and that will activate platforms in this general area so that you can go up here, and this is where the task you'll complete will be. Okay, so I decided instead the button is going to deactivate this, and then we're going to have like you go up these moving timed platforms, and this jump pad, you'll go back on these trusses. That's how you're supposed to do that. And then when you get over here, I've already started this a little bit. You'll notice this box thing here. I was going to make it so it'd be like these were click buttons that activated push boxes like over here. I don't think that's really going to work because you have to be standing near it for it to like move the push box for some reason. I think instead what I'm just going to do is make all of these click buttons. Maybe they like deactivate things over here, and this is a conveyor with a push box. We'll see if that works, but I think it can just activate platforms that let you go over here into the next floor. Which I forgot to mention, but just like floor 6, the 2 longest movements are going to be like have the backpack for the extra space. It's not entirely necessary to do that though, because they're like 2 seconds longer than the other ones. You know, I think what I'll do is just going to be like a bunch of kill bricks in here that you need to run through here quick so you don't die of damage. Then simply on this end of the box will be where you enter the next side. Okay, so now I get the fun task of having to rebuild this entire thing because I need to make them buttons, not normal parts. Although that shouldn't take that long. And actually, I think it makes more sense if they're this size, like, compared to what they actually are in Among Us. Okay, that actually took, like, 30 seconds to do that, if that. So, yeah. Like, I just copied the colors. Anyway, I can select these, move them over here. And I think we will also make it, like, of course, there's going to be the electrical box, which I can actually just go ahead and copy and paste from one of these earlier floors. So I can just do this, and then turn dragging on, and then rotate this so it goes on this wall. And then turn dragging off before anything goes catastrophically wrong. So now I'm going to modify this a little bit so there actually is an inside to this. This should be fine, and I also aligned it with these. So now what I want to do is duplicate the door, and I guess these, like, bolts too. Not this bolt, but like the, like screws. So I'll duplicate it and then put the duplicate in like an opened position. So like right here. Okay, so now I'm going to take a button and do that, and I'll make it invisible. This will be the make objects visible button. It should have infinite time. So that means I want it to activate these, and it should have modify effects on. There's a good chance it just won't work because whenever there's decals, it just is annoying for me for some reason. So with that property set to true, and then I select all of these and make them invisible. And I think stepping on this, yeah, of course, see, like, just, of course something goes wrong. Like, literally, what reason would that have not to activate? So when I step on this, okay, yeah, when it makes the decal disappear just fine. So that means I want to take the thing with the lightning bolt, make this slightly larger, remove the image, make it 0.99 transparency glass. There we go. Now it hides this. And so if I take the make objects invisible button, make it also deactivate that glass, then what that should do, I'll reset to test this. Also, I know there's like a weird gap there. I'll fix that. Okay, I don't know why it wasn't working. Oh, well, then it hides that. Okay, well, actually, it doesn't work. Okay, you know what? Fine. If it's just not going to work, I'm not going to put the lightning bolt on this when it's open. But there, it actually opens like that. That's fine. Now I should just select all these and move them over a little bit. Okay, so now I have the power box selected. I will move it like this, and then we put like it back to this so that looks better. So now I will connect these buttons to platforms that will let you go through here. Scratch the kill brick idea. I'll just make it deactivate walls over here. So this will just be an unmarked conveyor to go over here, and then we'll put the thingies in there. So let me just link the buttons. Okay, I've linked everything up. Okay, so far so good. This is my first test, so if I'm lucky, everything will work first try. So let's see, if I click, yeah, of course it's not gonna let me click it. Why would it not? Okay, I don't know why I was doing that. It seems to work fine. So if I just click that, that should, yeah. And if I click that one, yes, that works. I'm gonna check each of these individually to make sure I didn't like do something like, I accidentally linked one button to 2 and another one to none, or something, like 2 walls, I mean, or something like that. So I'll check one individually this time. Okay, if you go inside the power box, it seems to work. Oh wait, I meant to check each of those. It might be because, like, the door is in the way. Let me try moving it. Okay, a few modifications later, and I think it works. So, I added a sign. It says, to complete this task, walk up to the power box and it will open. Click/tap each of the wires inside to deactivate the doors if opposite to you. If it won't let you click the wires, try moving your view or zooming in or something. So if you walk up to it, it does that. Yeah, see, like, what? You just kind of, I don't know why it does that. It's weird. So, you click each of them, and yes, I did check them. They all are linked correctly. Okay, there, I changed this. It just says you can go inside, because you can see it, like, lets me click all of them. Fine. I think it might have something to do with the fact that the closed door is, like, there, but I don't know. But then you can jump over here. All these are deactivated, and yeah, we're on to the next side now. Let's start side 2 off with, like, a thing you jump down. So it'll be kind of like side 2 down here, which it's in, like, a different space, like this one, rather than this one, or whatever. Okay, so side 2. The task on this floor is the download data task. Click the red button below to start. It will take 60 seconds to download. I think I'm going to probably change that to 30, or like maybe 20, I don't know. Once it's done, oh, hold on, there needs to be an apostrophe there. There we go. Once it's done, the bridge to the left will become accessible. While you wait, I suggest you complete the section of side 3 labeled POV. You are waiting for side 2. So this is side 3 over here, I think. Maybe I should have thought about this. Actually, it doesn't matter, because these are the same sizes anyway. So it doesn't matter if this was 3 and this was 4 or the other way around. Anyway, this says POV, you are waiting for side 2. It's going to be this, like, mini section here, and there's going to be a button at the top. This section is not optional. In order to be able to complete side 3, you must press the button at the end of this section. You want to hear a random story? At school one time, the teacher said completing the homework is not an option, and there are 2 very different ways to interpret that. The first one would be, it is not an option. It is not one you can choose. Therefore, you can't do your homework even if you wanted to. The other interpretation is, it's not an optional decision. It is mandatory. So yeah, that was kind of funny. This says not optional rather than not an option. So the only way you can interpret this is that this is mandatory. You're going to press a button which will activate some platforms, like maybe up here. So after side 2, after those 30 seconds are up, you'll complete side 2, and then at the end of side 2 you'll go into side 3 from up here using the platforms that are activated by this button. I hope that makes sense. Let me make this download data thing work. Let me move this off to the side and make a duplicate of it that is the same size, but it needs to be a button. So this wall here wasn't a fading platform, but now it is, and that's how we're going to make this work. You also need to make it studs again. So this button, I'm going to select it, and it needs to be activate parts, and the click radius needs to be 35. That's just what I always make it. Actually, you could click it from like in here if you put your view through here, and you wouldn't have to wait. Not really sure what to do about that. I mean, I guess it's not that important. If I can come up with some solution, then I guess I'll implement that. But anyway, then I need to connect this, and so this will reactivate after 200 seconds, and I can't set it to any higher, or it like never reactivates or anything like that. What I think I'm going to do is the button up here is also going to activate some parts that are like around here, so I guess that also creates the problem that you don't have to finish waiting for it, but it's fine. But it also solves the problem that if this reactivates, because if you like fall back to here, and then this reactivates because it's been over 200 seconds, you won't have to wait for it again, because the platforms that were activated by the currently non-existent button there will allow you to walk around here. Okay, so I'm going to wait to build the thing here. Let's go ahead and build side 2. Let's do like a seat jump section here. Also, that apparently is a thing now, which is good because it makes these easier to work with. Let's put a platform here, and then I want to take a wedge and angle it like this. Let's just put it all the way over to here. Now take a trip part and put it across here. And so there will be a warning for this, but you're supposed to just hold space along here, because otherwise you will fall off. Let's not make it go all the way to the other side of here, because I want you to actually be able to like land somewhere. I won't commentate about me building the rest of this, because it's probably going to be kind of boring. Like, it's just going to pretty much just fill up this space. And I guess while I'm at it, I'll just build what's in here, which will probably not even use any client objects, or if it does, only a few. Well, other than the button, that is. So I'll see you after I'm done with that. Okay, so I kind of sort of maybe accidentally built all of side 3 as well, but it's fine. The thing I made that represents it, you can pause and read this if you want, but basically, these 3 are buttons, and the rest are teleporters to over here, which we're going to call the halfway point of side 2. Although it doesn't really matter, because I am going to make it so that the teleporter here at the bottom actually teleports you to here. That way you can't just jump down here and get teleported to the halfway point, which would be past here, and like freeze the entire weight. But again, you have to press this anyway, so it like doesn't really matter, but whatever. How do you know it's the correct one? Well, it's because the lights above and below them are on. So like, even though the light below this one is on, the light above it isn't. Well, anyway, we're on to the final side now. And the sign here says, you've reached the final side, side 4. This side represents the clear asteroids task. Find and click 20 asteroids, then come back to this platform. You'll see a teleporter to floor 9 next to this sign. The teleporter, there's going to be like a thing around it that prevents you from touching it until you activate all the buttons. There's going to be 20 parts. In each asteroid, when you click it, it will deactivate one of them. So it's going to be kind of like Tower of Team Seas. The game plan on this floor is going to be different than usual. Rather than like one linear path of obstacles, there's just going to be like a bunch of different paths, and you're just trying to collect the 20 asteroids. I don't really have a plan as to what I'm going to do exactly. I guess we'll find out. So like, I'm just building this wraparound, as you can see. You can also put like some elevators here, which are just jump pads, but like I can make it be jump power, like what's the lowest? 50. So I'll make it neon, and I want it can collide false. So yeah, it's just gonna act like an elevator. I did something like this on Tower of Superception a long time ago. Basically, it's just wraparounds. And we'll have this turn and go over here though. Also, the task in Among Us is like a lot different than this. It's like you're in a thingy and you have to tap the asteroids on a like 2D interface as they pass by. This is much different, but like, I guess maybe what I could also do is put like a screen, and then you have to click the asteroids and then they'll disappear, as well as remove the thing next to it. But this is more interesting, I guess, and I've already started doing this. Okay, so I think I've built all that I want to build as far as the parkour goes here, so now I need to add in the asteroids. I guess I'll just use spheres, and they'll be like this size, just like 1 by 1. And then I'll copy the visual properties of these down here. The way I made the large asteroids here was I used a mix of the slate material and the new-ish limestone material. So I'm going to make some of these be slate and some of these be limestone. Yeah, I changed it so that you step on them rather than click them, because if it was click, then you wouldn't have to actually go over to them. You know, like if you were all the way over here, you could put your view over here and then click this asteroid. So I guess I'll make them the same color of the asteroids. That makes sense. So now I'm going to copy and paste this so that there's 20 of them. They're all going to be in the same spot at some point, but for the sake of me linking buttons, it'll just be easier if they're not all in the same place. Also, the reason it's 20 is because you have to destroy 20 of them in the task. So now let me take a 1 by 1 by 1 button. I'll make it invisible. It needs to be make objects invisible, time infinite, and it needs to deactivate the sphere as well as one of these. So now I'll move this over here so I know that I've already done that. So now I'm basically just going to do that 20 times, or 19 more times. Okay, I've linked all of these. I kind of did multiple at a time, so that's why there's still 4 left. So now I should select every one of these and move them back over here, and then one by one move these all into the same position. Before we get to me playing through the whole floor start to finish, I would like to do the decal of the day, and it is this, tasks.png, once again drawn by my sister as always. So I'm going to hide this decal somewhere on this floor, and the first comment I see that correctly describes the location of it will get your comment pinned. It's not going to be in the video, so you'll have to come play the tower for yourself to come and find it. Floor 8 of Tower of Among Us is done. Well, kind of. I still am going to add, like, more detail and stuff, but not right now. So if you want to come play this or any of the other floors, here's the Obby ID right here. So if you go to floor 8, it's right here. Actually, I want to show you floor 7 as well, so I guess I'll do that. So floor 6, actually, I should go all the way back to. Floor 6, side 4, ends when you go through here. So that will activate behind you, and so, yeah. Also, the music playing right now in the background of this video is the song that will be playing on the side/floor that you're hearing. Welcome to Floor 7, a tribute to Voted Off Amogai. That's the name of the song, once again by Shark. By clicking/tapping this button, you will begin the floor. Please note that you will jump higher on this floor, and that falling will end your run. So it's kind of like an outside section. So if you click this button, these will disappear, and you'll fall down here with some effects activated. Probably gonna fall, so we'll go ahead and go in edit mode. So you have this wrap around here. This is a dance clip, so I guess you can jump. I don't know if the gravity will, like, mess it up, though. Oh, it's fine. So then you jump on here. Also, these stars are can't collide false. So then you go over here, and you need to jump down this, and then go over here, and then up the tight ropes. Yeah, you can see there's, like, nothing really to commentate about as I was building this. Here, though, this will reset this push box thing. So you need to push this down. That way you can jump over here onto this yellow Among Us. I think I meant to delete this. Although I won't delete it yet, just in case. But you're supposed to go up these ladders. Oh, and there will be more detail added to this floor at some point. But again, not right now. That resets this, so you need to do that to press the button. Then you need to jump all the way across here. That's also probably going to get a nerf. And there is an insta-kill here. The sign says, keep moving sideways. The lower gravity will allow you to skip over the gaps without needing to ladder flick. So you can just do that and you'll be fine. Make your way back to the first asteroid once you press this button. So you can press that, and then I think this is where that conveyor actually needs to be there. Or I guess you could, it doesn't need to, because, like, you could go around this way, like up these, and then next to that push box with the conveyor thing. Or you can do that to go back over here. Now what that activated is this moving platform. It'll take you up here, and then you can walk through here, and you will be taken to floor 8. Welcome to floor 8. This is somewhat similar to floor 6. The song has 4 movements, and each side of the floor uses a different movement. This time, however, the song is Task Suite by Shark. Each movement of Task Suite represents a different task from Among Us. On each side, you will complete a recreation of the task that movement represents. For this side, you will complete the fixed wiring task. Also, note that falling into the kill bricks below will send you to the halfway point of the previous side, but for side 1, it will send you back to this platform. So, you start... Okay, I already fell. Well, that's why there's that. Right, because there is basically, like, a free safety net here, so that's why I put a 12-stud long jump right there. But I just realized you can just walk to the side of this. I meant for that to be a wraparound, but you know what? I kind of like that. Also, that is definitely not going to be possible. Okay, I need to adjust a bunch of these. Okay, I almost fell, but it's fine. I was going to have us do, like, jump on here. Actually, you kind of still need to, I think. Also, if you're wondering what the speed pad is for, it's if you fall off here, it will, like, reset it. Okay, so you can make the jump, but it's a little bit easier if the moving platform is there, so you might want to wait for it if you want. 10 out of 10 ladder flicking skills, but you're going to need, not sarcastically, 10 out of 10 ladder flicking skills, or at least like 5 out of 10 or something for this section here. From here, you need to jump to this gray platform, and then to here, and then actually not to here, because although you can make your way up here, you need to press this button, which I bet you can just do that, can't you? Yeah, you can. Okay. Okay, I've done a few modifications to hopefully solve that issue. So you'll jump and press the button like that, and you can see it's deactivated now. So now, once you get your walk speed back, you need to jump across these moving timed platforms. So yeah, it's pretty much just jumping back and forth until it gets up to the correct height, to where you can jump onto the ledge that's up here to the right. There we go. So now I can walk through here, go on this jump pad onto, not like that. Yeah, you do kind of need to jump off like the side of it, like this. Nope, not like that. There we go. And you should not ladder flick there because the ceiling is very close. But here you should ladder flick. I'm going to have to go out of edit mode for this. To complete this task, walk up to the power box and it will open. Click/tap each of the wires inside to deactivate the doors or on the opposite wall. If it won't let you click/tap them, try going inside the power box. So it's just easier if you do this in the first place, so you just gotta click them all. There we go. So now they're deactivated over here. You go across the unmarked conveyor, and now you can go to side 2. The task on this floor is the download data task. Click the red button below to start. It will take 30 seconds to download. Once it's done, the bridge to the left will become accessible. While you wait, I suggest you complete the section of side 3 labeled POV. You are waiting for side 2. So you want to click this, and it will start making that disappear, and it'll take 30 seconds. The teleport at the bottom of this floor sends you back to the start of side 2, so don't try to jump down to skip the 30-second timer. POV, you are waiting for side 2, is right in here. This section is not optional. In order to be able to complete side 3, you must press the button at the end of this section. So it's quite easy-ish. I mean, it's over a safety net, so I made it a little bit more difficult. And here we go. This button activates platforms on side 3 that will help you later, as well as platforms that will let you quickly get around the wall blocking the bridge should it reactivate. And that pink button is not timed, but you can see it activated those, as well as this thing here in case this isn't done, or it reactivates. More so for the second one, because there isn't really anything I can do about the first one. Anyway, you jump across the seats now, and it says hold space/jump while on this wedge, because there's a trip part on it, and you gotta carefully go across those wraparounds. Okay, I would have messed that up. Good thing I went into edit mode. But this is a conveyor launch over to here, and then you need to ladder flick right here. Also, this wire thing is can't collide false. It's so that you know this button is connected to it over here. Okay, now we have a push box section using pressure plates, and this button will reset both of them. So what we need to do is get this one over here while avoiding the push box resetters. That will activate this, and you need to push the gray push box onto here. That will activate this, so then you need to push this over here above this button. I've said this like 4,000 times. Then you need to push this push box off this button. This will fall down here on this button, and then wow, okay. Probably put a this counter. What was the total? Anyway, it'll activate the door right here, and now you're at side 3. This is the best recreation of the start reactor task I can make. Activate the 3 buttons that have a light and that is turned on above and below them. Be careful here because if you press the wrong button, you will lose progress. It'll teleport you back to after that trip part wedge on side 2. So it's these 3 buttons because you can see they're activated here. They're activated here. So you gotta press them. You should press them carefully so that that doesn't happen. So just like jump on them carefully like that. Also, of course, be careful when walking around the edge here. So then you have this section with these gray button activated platforms, which is pretty easy. It's just like some wraparounds and walkarounds right here. Okay, final side. You've reached the final side, side 4. This side represents the clear asteroids task. Find and step on 20 asteroids, then come back to this platform. You'll see a teleporter to floor 9 next to this sign. Also, I forgot to make some of them limestone. Oopsie, I'll do that later. So there's 1, there's 2. I don't know why I went out of edit mode. And also, I do not feel like counting. Yeah, there's not really much to say here. You just kind of go around the floor and pick up the asteroids. If you can even call them asteroids. They're like way smaller than a typical asteroid. You know you've collected all of them once this block here deactivates, or technically all 20 of them. And also I did have to make the teleporter much smaller because it was still possible to activate it. So then you can do that, and it says floor 9 is coming soon. So that's going to be the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Here's the Obby ID once again, and so make sure you subscribe if you did enjoy it, and like the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and have a great day.